Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Put the Guidebook Down, Culture Travels podcast with me, Kiara, the creator, as your host. One of my best friends, Christine, joining me here today. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited for today's episode because in last week's we talked about the idea of reclaiming spontaneity when it comes to travel. As someone who's a little bit newer in their travel journey, you've done a couple. We'll get into that. You've said off camera that you've done different types of travel so far.
The going abroad somewhere, going with like a travel group, planning completely all on your own, and then going to a resort where you just stay at the resort and do whatever the resort has planned for you.
When, in terms of geography, where have you been in the world? Just to give our listeners some context.
I've been to Europe. I went to Ireland. I've been to Paris. I've been to Mexico. Went to Bermuda. A little out, but not a ton.
You've been a little bit around the States as well.
So been out to the West Coast, out to Vegas, Grand Canyon, down south to Florida, Texas, traveled the States and Canada.
Of course, Canada.
It's easy.
This is good because it gives a little bit as like you have traveled internationally and nationally. You're still relatively newer in your travel journey. I think it's going to be a really good episode to really get into that finding confidence and going about your travel journey, and also talking about how you should go about selecting the type of travel journey you go on.
I'm very impressed by some of your previous guests and yourself with how confident you are with traveling to a totally different country and even living there, embracing the culture, learning the language, just really taking in everything that there is there and just going for it whole hog. I'm on the other side of the spectrum right now, but I want to take a little bit of that with me, go into the world more open-minded like you are.
I hope I can convince you to go on my trip to Mongolia. I know you said maybe not the whole backpacking into the wild.
We're taking baby steps, girl.
Baby steps. That's why we're here to talk about this today. What I would like to know to get started is when you're talking about traveling somewhere maybe internationally or kind of given a little bit of the caution label, what is intimidating about traveling there or going somewhere unfamiliar?
First would be language barrier. I like being able to ask as many questions as I need to. As somebody who has anxiety with traveling, sometimes you want to know, is this the flight going here? Do I have everything scheduled? Making sure you have all your ducks in a row, everything's situated and organized and correct. You've got everything where you're going in the right direction. When there's a language barrier, sometimes you don't always get that security and that confidence with being able to ask every single question you have on your mind.
You mentioned you've been to Mexico, you've been to France, so you have a little bit of language background in French and Spanish, correct?
Spanish more, I'd say. French, I definitely tried to learn the language a little bit so that I could avoid that apprehension, that anxiety. Spanish, I speak a little bit more. That definitely came in handy. Just very basic Spanish, enough where I feel comfortable and confident, like we're getting dropped off at the airport. We're going to, this is Terminal 3, the next one's Terminal 4. That's the one you need. Or even talking to locals or buying things, being able to make sure you get the right size t-shirt, the right color. Just little things that avoid that awkwardness.
Then talking, because in those trips you had a little bit of the language before you go to there. You mentioned learning a little bit of French before you went to Paris. What did that look like? How did it help you feel more secure before your departure?
It made me feel a lot better because part of me was definitely a little nervous about getting there and just not being able to communicate with anybody. I was like, I'm not going to be able to check into my hotel. I'm going to get there and just be lost at all. Having just even a basic knowledge of the language definitely helps. Again, in Paris, it's nice. A lot of the people there do speak a basic level of English. Also, traveling with somebody who knows the language more than you, also very helpful.
When you were preparing with your French, what was the the tactic there? Were you using Duolingo?
Yeah, the free app don't do it for me every time. Thank you very much. No, my cousin, when we went to Paris, my cousin speaks a very decent amount of French. Having her was great. My mom and I just Duolingo. That was it. Spanish, I took that in high school, and I've just kept it up. That's
Good
why.
for you. Good for you. I feel like Duolingo is such the go-to right now for anyone. There's so many jokes online about how people do all their language prep before they go to their destination because of Duolingo. They get there and they're like, I am a woman. I want an apple. I think there was a joke even one was, I have all this lingo when it comes to prisons for some odd reason. It's true, kind of like how random Duolingo does their language studying approach. The core of it, even if it's not perfect, the locals know that you gave an effort, which I think is the most important thing at the end of the day. Because as you mentioned, not only is it just to make sure that you're getting the right place, that you're buying the right size t-shirt, you're also engaging then, as you said, with the locals.
I think one of the biggest things that I realized is like, here in America, whenever I walk into an establishment, I always go, hi, how are you? Hi, how you doing?
Right.
How's it going? Bye, thank you. I'm always like, bye, thank you. Bye, thanks. Bye, have a good night. You don't realize how much you say it until you're in another country and you walk in and you're like, hola, como está? You're like, okay. And then I'm like, you're rehearsing. Okay. Adios, buena noche, before I leave. Because if I'd say this in America, why would I not say it in another country as well?
I like that. I think this is even more of a testament why we need to have an episode on this podcast about language and how we go about it. Because with my joke, as I was in Indonesia, one of my favorite things was with our language study program for Bahasa Indonesia, we would have these dialogues. We would practice the dialogues, like, for example, going to the cafe and how you would go about ordering your coffee. What happens after that, as you said, like the order, thanking them, and saying, have a good day. My biggest fear was when they would go off dialogue, as I would say. So they went off script. I was like, I'd be like, I go up to the cafe and I'd be like, okay, hello. This is all in Indonesian. I'd be like, hello, how are you? They're like, good. I go to order coffee. They go, do you speak Indonesian? I go, wait a second. This is not how I rehearsed this interaction to go. I'm like, okay, hold on. Then I feel like I have to explain my glitch in the matrix because I'm like, no, I'm processing how to respond to their question while also going back to the dialogue.
How can I redirect this to what I know?
Yeah, exactly. I relate to you and your experience with the rehearsing, especially if I'm gonna say it this way in the States. Why am I not making an effort to also do the same level of formality and politeness in another country in their language?
Just like little phrases that aren't that hard to learn. I will also say, honestly, I also went on TikTok and found there was like, because TikTok was new. They knew I was on my way to Paris. So they got me. I got some videos of people were like, here's some good phrases to know when you're in Paris. And I opened up a little notes app and I wrote it down. I tried to like memorize some good phrases. All gone now. At the time,
you're good.
I knew how to ask for like a carafe of water. So I wouldn't have to ask for just different things that were common phrases to say there. Duolingo didn't touch on yet
because it wasn't yet in your Duolingo journey.
I didn't get that far.
It's okay. No. TikTok is interesting. I'm gonna try to we'll go do an episode about language learning. We'll have you back, Mike, everyone. Let's refocus it back onto this confidence style from our podcast theme today. Talking about then selecting the type of journey you want to go on for travel. So group travel versus independently planned versus resort style. How do you go about selecting which one?
I think it depends on your confidence level and what you want to do there. For Ireland, for instance, me and my mom, my dad, we knew we wanted to really travel and get to know every major stop in Ireland. For us, a tour group was the best way to do that. They planned every stop for you, all the restaurants, all the different pubs, all the different events, cultural things, all the hotels, bookings. So we stayed at a different hotel every single night because we traveled the entire country of Ireland to really make sure you hit everything that you wanted to, which was great for us because get the plane over, get on that bus, and
Yeah.
they do the rest for you. They bring you back to the airport. They make sure they got you there early, so you didn't miss that international.
Dear, what was it, like 4 hours, 3 hours?
Girl, we got through the first part of it, and we were like, we got 3 hours to burn. Let's go shopping in the duty free. We got past the duty free, and we're like, is this line that we're facing? No, the reason they brought us here 4 hours early wasn't there. I think a tour group is great if you're like, I really want to travel everywhere in this large, I'm not a large country, cover a large amount of space, large grounds to cover. Then planning it yourself, if there's specific things you want to do that you don't want to miss. When we went to Paris, my cousin was like, we're going to Versailles. That's on her bucket list. She wants to go to Versailles. Obviously, I wanted to go to as many art museums as I could possibly hit up. My mom and my aunt were just happy. We were planning the whole thing for them. Those lazy, no good for nothing.
Calling out on this channel, Christine.
I'm just kidding.
All good vibes.
All good vibes. That was really nice. We had to learn how to use the subway there, which actually very intuitive, very easy to use that. Google Maps is your friend.
Right.
All-inclusive resort is really if you're like, I want to go to this country because I love the water's beautiful, the ocean's gorgeous. I love the climate down there is great, the weather.
Right.
I just want to go somewhere and maybe still like out and do like an excursion here or there, but you're really going to do what the location, what the resort has to offer mostly.
Right. In terms of those 3 types of options, where did you find the most room for spontaneity?
Oh, planning it yourself.
Planning yourself.
Say, honestly, the tour group would be the least spontaneous because they are bringing you everywhere. You're not doing any sort of on your own little excursions. They have the itinerary planned for you, which was great. We loved that. Doing what they're doing because you're getting on the bus at the time that they told you you're getting on the bus.
Yeah.
Waking up and getting on the bus in the morning the time they told you to because there's 4 things that we're hitting today. It was a very like schedule. Yeah. Being like the all-inclusive resort is yes, like you're stuck on this resort, like you're not stuck, but
pretty much in that one location.
Yeah, you're here in this one location. You probably don't have a vehicle to transport you wherever you want to go, but there's a lot of like that you can book outside. Like if you want to go to this volcano over here, this like hole, this like piques your fancy around that area. There's probably an excursion you could book. Right. For the most part, you're sleeping in the same place. You're staying mostly on the resort because you pay good money for the resort. Yeah. So you want to use the resort. Then just booking everything your own is the most fun because you do whatever you want. It's your trip. You're booking it all. You know?
I think that also goes into my next question for you in terms of the most room for cultural connection, cultural travel, deeper travel. It's really going to come into that planning yourself vacation or travel, because I feel with the resort, as you said, you're pretty much in this bubble made by the place you're staying at where you have all the activities that you could potentially theoretically need there. Yeah. You have to make the extra effort to go out and do those other activities if you really wanted to. And there's second place would be, in my opinion, the guided tour, because you are doing the cultural travel within the guided tour, but it's maybe the same travel that all tourists get with that group, right? One of the things that we talk about a lot here with cultural travel in this podcast is this idea of cookie cutter traveler. So regardless of where they go with this, destination with a guided tour group, they're still going to get the same experience as every other person who signs up on that tour. So do you think then, this is totally like opinion, that those guided tours really cultural travel? I feel like this is a hot take.
I might have to slightly disagree with you.
Okay, please do it.
I think somebody planning their own trip, they're trying to research places to go. They're like, okay, this is a good, like, we were like, okay, Eiffel Tower, the Louvre,
Right.
Arc de Triomphe, like all these different things that when you hit Google, that's what comes up.
Right.
Good to go to. But sometimes when you go on a guided tour group, they can bring you to the more hidden gems that maybe Google doesn't show you right away. You didn't even know this was a place you could go. You didn't even know this was a thing to see.
Yeah.
Are with like a local showing you around, which can be helpful. But this all depends on who's booking the travel. If it's somebody who does just go to a search engine and type in what to do in Paris, what to do in Ireland, going to get the most obvious things to do.
Right.
That maybe a tour group would be more beneficial to you because you're going to see things that you don't see pop up on Google as much.
Right.
You're with someone, well, like Kiara, who like wants to backpack through Mongolia for 2 weeks. You're going to see more than the tour group would probably show you. So
what we need is that kind of medium between the two.
Yeah.
Like you're giving me ideas for Cultura travel, and I love it when people they have other ideas or opinions against mine, so I think it's good.
I do. For somebody who's like a baby traveler or just starting out, almost kind of like myself, like I went to Paris and it was lovely, but I'm sure there's more things that I could have done there and tried there. Maybe I had somebody who, you know, was more embedded in the culture and knew it, and their whole job was bringing you to places their own, you know, country or city.
It's true. Yeah. Back, getting ready to close out our episode. First of all, what steps do you think people can take to help build confidence in their travel journey?
I think, I'm trying to start out my confidence.
So you can share what you think or how you're going about building your confidence in travel.
So for me, I think I'm just looking at where I am in life. I have like a stable job, plenty of PTO, and I'm still young. And I see so many things out in the world. And honestly, like other people that inspire me to travel and do more like spontaneous, fun things. And I'm like, yeah, why can't that be me? Why can't I do that too? Like they're doing it. Why not me? I think something to help is just looking at other people's travel journeys and seeing other people doing something that if you want to do it and they're doing it, why can't you do it too? I think the best way to start is maybe the all-inclusive resort or the cruise or something where it's taking you there and there's like a built-in itinerary, but you can still go off and explore a little bit here, there. Maybe you do start going to a country that you speak the language there already, like me going to Ireland or at Great Britain or Canada or something like that. Then branching out a little bit further and further until you're fully like, want a backpack through?
Yeah, I'm going to convince you, I promise. Girl, you'll see. I really like that. I think it's a really good point to say, like, well, why can't that be me? I like that. So then what's next for you? Where are you going next? What type of travel?
Next, I might be going to Puerto Rico.
I was going to say Mongolia. No.
Girl.
See, I'm trying.
You can try harder. Puerto Rico, obviously, I'd love to go to Greece. I'd love to go, oh my gosh. I mean, Portugal would be great. Spain, Madrid. Love to go to Aruba. I love a mix between, like, sometimes I want the touristy, like, or like the really like hitting all of the travel, like you're up, you're moving, you're grooving, you're visiting things, you're doing things. And then I also though love, I'm laying on a beach drinking a mimosa,
need that balance. Yes,
until 10:30 because I don't care.
Yeah, that balance.
Yes,
on the travel goal and what you're looking for out of a trip. Right? I love that. I'm excited for you to be going into this travel era, as I'm gonna call it for you. I'm branding it as that.
Thank you.
So what I liked most, and hope whoever was listening kind of got this new energy or confidence that I too can do that as well, as you said, but with culture travel, we always talk about cultural travel, obviously, just traveling more meaningful, because not only are you traveling to like a new culture, language, experience, but you're also growing your own confidence for you to bring back to your everyday life.
Yeah.
And with that meaningful travel is truly for everyone at any stage of life. You don't need to be a millionaire to go experience meaningful travel. You don't need to be in your 20s. I feel like we have the stereotypical 20-year-old backpacker who just decides, I'm going to go, guilty, I'm going to go and backpack down the Balkans because why not? It's truly for anyone who is ready to try something new and step out of their comfort zone a little bit, to try something out of their comfort zone. So what I like to leave you guys with is the question of what's one thing that would make you more confident to take your first big cultural trip. So go ahead and reflect on that. I'm going to thank Christine so much for joining. We're going to have another episode with you to talk more about your time in Paris and right before the Olympics. Wow. But for everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out our website. We're making a lot of development onto our travel app, and get ready to travel more deeper and more meaningfully. Thank you.
Bye.